Well, hello world, and hello CM Travel subscribers. It's a new year, a new normal, but let's not dwell on the negative because today I invite you to sit back, grab a beverage, hot or cold, or both. This is a look at the Nikon Z50, which I have with me, and how I would set it up for travel and wildlife photography, and of course, can I use it here in the studio? And if I can, what gear do I need to go with it in order to make the most out of it? So, I like a bit of chocolate milk. Let's cue the sick intro. So right now we're currently seeing about $150 price reduction on this camera and its various kits. Firstly, let me come a little bit closer to you there. I have both the lenses with me here of the kits, the 16-50 and of course the 50-250. Oh, it's just so good. Having tested many of the S-line lenses, I would be happy to compare them for you. I've also got with me some of the very popular f-mount lenses at the longer focal length, which are currently not available in the S-line. It will give us just a chance to test out the adaptive functionality as well as of course the autofocus speeds. I always think if the lenses can focus well on the fast and erratic little birds on my feeder, then they can focus on pretty much anything. And considering it has the hybrid autofocus system, which is the same as the Z6 and Z7, it's not a bad little autofocus system on the Z50. But it is equipped, of course, with Nikon's first CMOS sensor that incorporates phase detection autofocus, which is pretty cool. So let us dive into the kit lenses. Both are DX, and of course, and therefore if you wanted to one day upgrade to one of the full frame versions of the Z cameras, these would not work. Well, technically they would work, and I'm sure as you sort of picked up, I am personally backing the mirrorless systems over the lower end APS-C cameras like the 3500, the D3500, which you can see a review I did of here, as well as the D6500, which you can also see a review of here. And really what it comes down to is that the Z50 just has far superior video quality. They do work with the FTZ adapter, which I have with me, but there is a bit of noise with your older f-mount lenses. But I do have two very exciting lenses here with me which could overcome this. Stay tuned, it's coming up. I have seen some really wonderful work being done with the 16-50mm, particularly a couple of short films that I saw that a couple of guys did. And we went to Italy and I took the camera along. You can see that video here, and all of that was shot with this little lens. I also just want to say to you that before you watch this, I am not a professional video editor, and I made this short film just with some basic iMovie edits. And I think the capabilities of this camera are far greater than what you see in this video. The 50-250 does a very nice job at giving us that longer focal length, capturing things like wildlife and even your kids' football match. Just really nice, really light and well built. The auto eye focus makes it so easy to snap pics of your friends and family. And for video, it does the same thing, nailing focus almost every time. It may be a little bit confused if there's a room full of people, however, so bear that in mind. What it also has is, which its bigger brother and sister don't have, is this flip down screen. I can't tell you how frustrated I was with the last video I did using the 85mm f1.8s lens on the Z6 II. The flip down screen just really helps you out. You can of course also use the screen to take top down photos as well if you like. So if you like that. Ta-da! So if you're taking photographs using a tripod with an overhead, then that works perfectly well for that. And if you're food blogging or even just really cool photos, it's easy to use the screen in that way as well. And while you can still do this with the at least at that angle with the Z6 and Z7, it's nice to be able to have it here. It really comes all the way out, fully articulating, which is pretty cool. Now it also has 4K footage up to 30 frames a second at no crop. Plus you can record at 120 frames per second in full HD. Now let's be honest, if you are a creator at the moment and you are not using slow-mo, I would say you either have a camera which can't film at high frame rates, or you dreaming of having a camera that can. Everyone is using slow-mo, and it is just a really nice addition to have in your arsenal of creative shots. This feature is also enhanced by the fact that you have the 2 presets which can give you different settings on both the stills and the video function. So if you are filming yourself, of course you can film at the very nice 24 or 25 frames per second, which is nice and cinematic, and so easily switch to your slow-mo settings of 60 or 120 for your B-roll or product videos. Really nice. One quick thing to mention is that the battery life is not great. So if you are a creator, then it's definitely worth getting another battery. I have always carried extra batteries with me, even in my beginner DSLR days, so that's just from experience, but it is very important, of course, as well to have an extra memory card. And this camera has a SD card slot, not a XQD card slot. And what I hope we will see in the next round of the Z mount crop sensor cameras is the second card slot, which they have now added to the Z6 and the Z6 II and the Z7 II. I have been getting a lot of questions about that, whether or not it benefits me, and for me, absolutely. I had a card, an XQD card failed on me in the Z7, and ever since then I've been a huge advocate for the double card slot system. Being able to mirror your images is very cool. Of course, you can also put JPEG files on one and RAW files onto another, and JPEG files can so quickly be uploaded onto your phone through the SnapBridge app straight from your camera and uploaded onto the plethora of social media pages that we currently have. You can also, of course, do quick edits on your phone or your iPad or even on your computer to make it your style, and then upload it, which is super, super cool and super, super fast. I hope you're enjoying that beverage, by the way. I need a stir, man. It's all about the stir. Oh, Nesquik is too good. There was also, of course, they did the whole vlogging kit with this, and the L bracket small rig that you can put on this camera really gives it so much more in terms of a creator style. You can add additional light, you can add another mic if you want, you can do a whole bunch of things which we never really had possible before. Well, there are a few things that I would have liked to have seen. Firstly, a joystick. I don't have a joystick here, now we just have the touchpad here. Just the old school vibe. And instead of the flip down screen, a flip open screen this way, just because when I used it with the vlogging kit, and when you attach the L bracket, the small rig L bracket to it, and you flip it down, you then lose this little tiny millimeter on the back here, and you can't actually see if it's recording you, which is a bit of a bummer. Both the joystick, however, and the fact that it's a flip down screen and a flip open screen really are small things. What I do think would make this camera very popular is if it could film in 4K at 120 frames per second, as well as maybe the addition of a 240 frames per second in full HD. I have a sneaky suspicion that they might be doing some really cool upgrades in the near future, at least, to do that. And from my feel from speaking to the guys here in Nikon in Switzerland is that the updates that are going to be coming, particularly now in February with the Z6 II, being able to shoot, I think it's 4K at 60 frames per second. I think there's going to be a lot more updates that are similar to that, and I think the Z50 is going to get some really cool updates. And something like having 120 frames per second in 4K is maybe not completely unattainable, and would be an awesome addition if we could get it. So let's go back to some more positives. It shoots at a crazy 11 frame rates, 11 shots per second. Nuts. But what's also really cool is you can put onto silent mode. Did you hear anything? No, because it's silent mode. Crazy is that? Mental stuff. And of course, with all of these mirrorless systems now, the fact that we have these weather sealed bodies is epic. And I can tell you that it's snowing outside right now, and I would never normally take my camera gear, my old camera gear out. However, I would like to test it in some more challenging environments, like in a hot, sweaty, humid, rainy jungle in Costa Rica. Yeah, I did a review in Costa Rica. You can check that out here. Not of Costa Rica, but of gear in Costa Rica. And all of my lens messed it up. Even my GoPro, which is like indestructible, that's right. Indestructible. That also couldn't handle the rainforest. So it'd be epic. It would be epic to see if we can take this into a jungle and see what it does. Because for me, it can survive the jungle, it can survive anything. So good. Quick side note, our website link, as well as our 100% bio cotton t-shirts, are in the description below. And if you have any questions for me, please do not hesitate to leave those in the comment section as well. And I'll try my best to get back to you on any of the gear that I'm currently talking about. Now, I also just wanted to throw in here, I quickly took the longer lenses, the 70 to 300 AFP 4.5 to 5.6 E lens, beautiful little lens and really good price point. I also took out the 500 AFS PFED VR lens, and I put those here and went out and tested the video work in the garden. And here I put up the first video is with the 50 to 250. You can see as soon as I turn around, it snaps. We're at the full 250mm length, of course, as well. And it follows me really, really nicely here. And upon reviewing the video, I realized I wasn't exactly in the middle, or my face was in the middle, but it did the job anyway. And now we move on to with an FTZ adapter with this beauty, the 70 to 300. Again, here you'll see as I turn, it catches the focus really nicely, and it's probably milliseconds slower than the native S lens, but still very fast, and you can see it follows me all the way up to the camera perfectly fine. Then we got really creative and put the FTZ adapter, as you can see here, on the 500, and again you can see me walking down. I turn around and it snaps onto my face at least pretty fast. It even focused on the guy that walked along the road there as well, pretty good. So you can see it follows me all the way up. However, here where I move out of the frame and back in, it manages to get my focus, but then I try again to leave the frame and I'm all the way out, and it gives it time to focus on the background, and I move back in it and it no longer focuses on me. So if you do have some of these longer lenses and you're operating without being behind the camera, perhaps, just be aware that, of course, these sorts of things wouldn't happen if you were behind the camera. But what I did do as well is I paired the Z50 with my phone through the Nikon SnapBridge app. And as you can see here, I got very happy because I came closer to the camera and saw how close it could focus. I also then moved in and out of the frame. The first time, again, I just managed to stay in the frame and it keeps my focus. Then I move out and try to come back into focus, and it really takes a long time. Even though I had the app and I was trying to focus on my face, it took a long time, but eventually it did come around. And of course here you can see me, I'm moving closer to the frame, even closer to the camera rather, and closer. So it's really that 500mm. You don't often film with the 500, but for me, if I'm going to be out on travels, I want to be able to film with all the lenses that I have, because it really creatively, it just gives you so much more depth. So if the FTZ adapter and your old Nikon glass, pairing it with the Z50 shouldn't be a problem at all. Some of the lenses won't be able to keep up with the autofocus, but they'll always be able to manage with manual focus and using the focus peaking rather, which is available on the Z50. So is this good enough for a creator? In my book, absolutely. It's small. The DX lenses currently are more than enough to produce images that are good enough to go on Facebook and Instagram. The video features are amazing and far better than any of the DSLRs in this price range. I really do hope that we will see a few of the features I previously mentioned in the Z50 Z52 perhaps. Now before you get ahead of yourself, I don't know anything about a Z52. I'm just assuming that they will of course bring out a Z52 because they did with the Z6 and the Z7. We will see. But it's been a real pleasure having you here. I hope my insights today have helped you make a decision on the Z50. I know that it's absolutely fantastic for what I need. Whether or not that suits your needs, I don't know. But I am just trying to share some good information with you so you can use it, don't use it, up to you. But lots more to look forward to. I'm going to be doing a more full review of the 20mm f1.8s lens, and when I can, the 14-24 f2.8. I'll be getting my hands on that, as well as the Z7 II, which I still haven't got my hands on. You currently see me filming on a Z6 II, which has been absolutely awesome, and of course has the newest updates, so that's going to be cool, and I'll speak about that new update that's coming in February shortly as well. So lots to look forward to, and if you want to see more of that, please don't hesitate to hit the subscribe button, and if you enjoyed the content today, hit the thumbs up. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Have a good day.